Hello guys, it's been a while since my last video, okay? And today we are going to talk about how to calculate cost of capital. Okay, let me share screen my Excel file, which I already prepared for this video. The term cost of capital is actually known also as weighted average cost of capital. So maybe in your study, our references refer to WACC, weighted average cost of capital. It is actually the same as what we have in cost of capital. Now, as we try to calculate how much our cost of capital, we need to address to the balance sheet. So in the balance sheet, at the right side of the column, we will see the equity and the liability. So as the consequences that company use equity as their source of fund, there will be cost of equity. So now when we try to break down the component for liability, we will come up with non-current liability and also current liability. For non-current liability, we always have to bear the interest expense, which is coming from the interest rate, and also for the notes payable. We also need to pay for the interest expense, which is coming from the interest rate. So for this side and this side, we may call it interest-bearing debt. Now, as the consequences of using liability as our source of fund, we need to calculate the cost of debt. So now, let me put a simple example here. For example, a company has an equity in 2021 in US dollar. For example, like this, the equity should be 2 million, for example, 123, 123. And now we also got the liabilities, and the liabilities would be 1.5, 100 to 123, just like this. So the total asset will be this one plus this one, like this. Okay, so now we need to identify how much the interest bearing debt from this amount of money. So for example, the interest bearing debt is 95%. 95% of the total liabilities is uh, for interest bearing debt. Now, let me put this straight, and then right after this, we need to set up, for example, the cost of equity is equal to 12%, like this, and then the interest rate is approximately 10%, okay, and the tax rate will be, using Indonesian tax rate, 22%. So how much is the WACC in that context? So now, the way we try to calculate is just like this. I'm going to delete this one first. Okay, just copy this one here. Okay, put the amount of money for the equity here, should be okay. And this one is for this one, okay. But for the liability, you need to calculate 95% from the total liability first, okay. So in this part, we need to calculate the interest bearing debt first. Right after we got this, then we need to identify the total, okay. The total is actually this one plus this one, okay, correct. And then let me put the term proportion here, is this one divided by the total, and also this one divided by the total. Just make sure that this number with this number equal to 100%. Okay. Now let's go to cost, like this. If we put the cursor here, it means that we need to point it out the cost of equity. So the cost of equity already there in our cases, 12%, but not for the cost of equity. To calculate the cost of, sorry, but not for the cost of debt, okay? If we want to calculate the cost of debt, you need to use interest rate multiplied by 1 minus tax rate, this one. you are going to get this one. And right after this, we can calculate the WACC, the weighted average cost of capital. You just calculate the proportion and the cost, just like this, okay? Put it here and sum it up. All right, guys. Now, we already got the WACC for our case, 10.25%. Okay. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in our video. Make sure that you're going to see me on my next video. Thank you and have a good day. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye-bye.